Hi guys, welcome to the second instalment of my rare and usable names series. This time it's the letter B we'll be looking at. I have to admit, I was quite surprised when I started delving through the data, as I had assumed that there wouldn't be very many B names that sound like names in the top 100 but are actually below the top 1000 in England and Wales. Don't get me wrong, I really love B names, Bellicent, Briseis, Bavine, Branwen, but of course they don't quite fit this pattern. So once I started digging, I was actually really surprised to find that there were quite a few really fashionable bee names languishing undiscovered below the top 1000. I have had to discount a few names from this video, like Blaine and Boyd, for example, because although they are below the top 1000 in England and Wales, they happen to be in the top 500 in Scotland. So I didn't think it was particularly fair to include those. So anyway, here are my top 10 choices for rare and usable names beginning with B. So I'll start with the boys, and first up is Beckett. This was one I was really surprised about. Beckett is a name that's quite popular in name blogs and within the name community itself, and it's also fairly popular in America at the moment, where it ranks at 213, but it's only 2,150 in England and Wales, so that means that 10 boys were given the name in 2015. It's a surname which obviously is quite fashionable in itself, and it comes from the old French bec, meaning a beak or a mouth, and the suffix et, so little beak or little mouth, so it probably used to be a descriptive nickname for someone at one point. It makes me think of the martyr Thomas Beckett and also the poet Samuel Beckett, which I think gives it a really nice literary heritage. Of course, it's got that K sound that we hear in Jake, Jack, Zachary, Frederick, and lots of other top 100 names, and the double T in Elliot. So I'm really surprised that we don't have many Becketts in this country, but the advantage is that means it's ripe for plucking. Next up is Bowen, which is a Welsh surname meaning son of Owen. It was originally Ab Owen in Welsh, so son of Owen, but over the years it got contracted, so the A got dropped and it just became Bowen. It's currently 1,186 in England and Wales, which means that only 22 boys were given the name in 2015. I think it makes a great alternative to the perennial favourite Owen, as well as the trendy fashionable favourites Cohen and even Bowie, or even just a great longer form for Bow, which itself is in the top 200 at the moment. Bay is quite a versatile name, and I'm always quite surprised that it's not more popular, given that we love our one-syllable names and we love our nature names. Bay has double nature credentials because it's not only an evergreen tree, but it's obviously also a geographical word, meaning a place where the sea is surrounded by land on three sides. But not only that, Bay is a surname which comes from the Old English word beag, meaning a garland or a crown or a ring, or basically a treasured thing, which is a really lovely meaning. It's very much a unisex name, so it was given to 13 boys in 2015 in England and Wales, ranking it at 1,786. It was given to 15 girls, so it ranked 1,865. It kind of interchanges every year, so sometimes there's slightly more boys and next year there'll be slightly more girls, but they're pretty much equal. Personally, I'd put it in with the boys' names just because that's my personal preference. I think we need a few more boys' names on the nature name side. Bardan is an old Gaelic name which has been in use since the Middle Ages, and it means little bard or little poet. In Irish, the name has a farda over the final A, so it's more like Bardorn, but the surname form that comes from it doesn't. Bardan with an E at the end is also an English surname which comes from places in Yorkshire called Bardan, and they mean Valley of Barley. I think it's got a great sound to it. It's got the R sound, which is so fashionable. It's found in Charlie, Archie, Harvey, Carter, and so many other names in the top 100. And of course, it ends in that N sound, which is found in loads of fashionable names. So I think Bardan has got a great Gaelic heritage to it with a really lovely meaning, but it's also got that surname style to it with a fashionable sound. In several European countries, Bastian is the standard short form for Sebastian, but but not so in this country so much. We tend to use Seb as a nickname. Bastian itself is actually currently at number 35 in England and Wales, meaning it's pretty popular. However, both Bastian with an A at the end and Bastian with an E at the end are only at 3,373, which means that only 5 boys for each spelling were given the name in 2015. So I think it's a really great undiscovered choice because it's so similar to popular Sebastian, but with a slight twist on it. Like the boys, I'm starting the girls' names off with a name that really surprised me when I found out that it wasn't in the top 1,000. Briar ranks at 2,070 in England and Wales, which means that 13 girls were given the name in 2015. It's a nature name, so it's used for wild bushes, but especially wild roses. It's a non-frilly name, but it's still quite feminine, and it has a familiar sound because it's so similar to Maya, which currently ranks at number 37. Bellamy is a surname which comes from the French Bellamy, meaning a good friend. It hasn't ranked at all in the last decade in England and Wales, except for in 2015 when it was given to 10 boys, meaning it ranked at 2,150 for boys that year. However, I've put it in the girls section because of its similarity to Bella, Amy, Amelie and so many other Belle and Me names in the top 100 for girls. For me, it also shares that feminine surname style of dapper Romilly and cute Everly. Bayla is a Yiddish name meaning white. It can be spelt in multiple ways, so it can be spelled A-Y, A-I, E-Y or E-I, but all of those spellings are below the top 4,000 in England and Wales, and no more than 5 girls were given any of those spellings individually. But Ava and Isla are both in the top 5 at the moment, so Bayla definitely has winning sounds. Betsan is a Welsh diminutive for Elizabeth, and it currently ranks at 1,649 in England and Wales, meaning that 18 girls were given the name in 2015. It is, however, more popular if you just take the Welsh data, so it actually ranks within the top 300 there. I think it makes a great Megan alternative, or even a more formal form for Betsy if you really like Betsy, but it seems a little bit too nickname-ish, then I think Betsan would make a really great name for you. Last on my list is Bethia. Bethia is the English form of the Hebrew name Bethia, which is traditionally said to mean daughter of Yahweh. However, in the Bible, she's described as being the daughter of Pharaoh, so it is possible that her name might actually mean daughter of Tia, and Tia was a sister to Ramesses II. The name has been used in Britain since the 16th century, and it was particularly notable in Scotland, where it was used as an English translation for Beach, meaning life. It's a great Amelia, Lydia, Olivia alternative, but it is very rare. It was only given to 3 girls in England and Wales in 2015 and ranks at 5,730. So that's my top choices for bee names. Let me know which are your favourite and which rare bee names you would choose.